And we are live. Welcome
we?
back. Apparently, the GM is running on disadvantage for vision checks because the wife needed help finding the cat food, and I couldn't see it sitting on the kitchen table right in front of me.
I've done that for my beer.
That was part of the delay. While we wait for T-Periolus to finish making that dirty, dirty, brown, sad... Sock water. We'll go with sock water.
Is brown sadness water.
Sadness water. That's the term I was looking for.
I thought that was Little Kings.
We have our lovely little recap of what's been going on. And the answer is, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I mean, these people do such insane things, like caress a man with his dead lover's hand, that I just genuinely don't know what we're doing anymore. I drink myself to sleep at night because of these people.
We're so far off the plot that the plot doesn't even know where the plot is.
What the fuck's a plot, bro? I just want food.
But on the other hand, we have the whole team. We have the whole team tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Brune, we have the Walker, we have Jim Jones, we have Martin Luther, so both of our holy zealots are here. We have Thodrian, who's the only one who's genuinely a holy zealot, and he's not a holy zealot. And we have Billy Brewbuckle, the mercenary with a heart, for killing you and taking your shit and turning you into liquor, apparently.
No.
That's a thing.
Heart, because he stole someone's heart.
Are you sure he didn't buy it on the black market?
I'm
what
sure
they have been doing, though, is traveling with the Cult of the Dragon and various other caravansers north from Baldur's Gate on their way to Waterdeep and points north. And yes, I'm completely ignoring Brune's Walk of Shame. They have managed to make their way through fungi, dragon attack, the occasional odd hobgoblin, impersonators pretending to be mercenaries trying to take their jobs, the Cult of the Wagons wheel breaking and shit spilling everywhere, leading to a series of murders that have kind of been solved because they tried to murder Billy. Thus leading to the slapping and caressing a guy with the arms of his loved ones. Yes, so we don't talk about that.
Yes, we do.
Apparently, we talk about that.
We made him an asset.
So now they have a spy amongst the cultists. We're going to go ahead and name him Conrad Jameson, since his friend was apparently Jim Beam. I need to drink less during these streams. Just putting it out there. I say as I take a drink, because one of the rules of the drinking game that is Hoarding Dragons is every time I swear off booze, take a drink.
Sounds about right.
And so, through various travails and misadventures, as well as finding a harper buried up to its neck in the road, they have finally made their way to Daggerford, the last major stop. In fact, the last time that the caravan stops for an entire day before arriving in Waterdeep, which should be about 8 more days of travel.
So how can we derail the game today?
So you're 8 days away from Waterdeep and the next stage of this journey, which absolutely will not in any way, shape, or form whatsoever go off the rails as the wagons pull into Daggerford, thumping off the bridge over whatever the hell river this is I used to know. And that's when Jim Jones snaps out of his many, many day trance, surrounded by Martin Luther in a chicken coop, a dragon egg, and his barrels of liquor.
Well, Jim Jones is, of course, going to look over at Martin and see him in the coop, and then instinctually just reach at his waist because he knows he has a bag of chicken feed somewhere. I just throw some feed at him.
As I recall, going to buy the chicken feed was when you got distracted by the shrooms, but we'll allow this. That being said, I think Martin Luther is still brewing tea. I guess I was a little too aggressive in my recap.
It's fine, man. You got to make sure he's not groggy.
So it's fair.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to film with grog.
Odds are good. Martin Luther is actually asleep as Jim Jones is coming to.
And just hello, little chicken. Have food. Breakfast good. What day is this?
How are you still alive? You've been literally catatonic for like 2 weeks.
I have been very high, friend. I will not lie, those mushrooms.
I'm gonna look at Billy Brewball. I'm gonna look at Billy and say, how can you guys take such punishment?
Reminds me of Mountain Lion I knew. Told some pretty great jokes, but every now and then he'd get into the catnip, and he'd just lay in front of my cave for 3 days.
You guys can take a hell of a beating.
It is
Why are we not throwing you at Emmys?
Good liver. We will train your liver, giving Walker a smack on the back.
You don't have to throw us at enemies because we throw ourselves. And just as I say that, I want to slap him on the ass with Jim's hand.
Jim will allow it.
No, the other Jim. The other Jim.
Oh,
Dead
wait,
Jim.
what?
Dead
another Jim?
Yeah,
Well,
there's a dead Jim.
There's a dead Jim. So what you're seeing? What you're seeing?
There's a Star Trek joke coming.
Jim, what you're seeing is Billy is just literally slapping Walker's ass with a dismembered arm.
A dismembered arm that is on a crossbow bolt because he doesn't have the reach to slap someone's face.
Okay. So Jim's gonna watch this. Not say a goddamn thing. Just reach to his waist and grab one of those random fucking bags of booze he has. Down it. And then he is walking over to Billy, taking the arm away from him. He's dead, Jim. And throwing it.
That is my hand. He tried to kill me. I deserve his hand.
No. No.
That hand is not going to be disposed until I shove it up his friend's ass.
No. And at that point,
I understand your plight.
Crap.
And I pulled Toto's skull out from underneath my cloak. I too knew someone who was an equal.
Jim just grabs another bag of booze off his waist and starts pouring it in Billy's mouth. No, shush, quiet now. No,
Anyway.
Yes, drink is good.
Somehow, between all of this, unlikely scenarios that we've run into, we've somehow made it to Daggerford, and I'm still not sure how.
I'm amazed they haven't
High
kicked us out
and
yet.
drunk.
Billy's swinging around fucking dismembered arms.
On the other hand,
I am confused.
Well,
so
this is actually perfect for in character because
Yes.
you're waking up from a coma.
well,
Yeah.
no, he's just
Chicken feed
Martin
all
Luther's
around
just
you.
mostly waking. Martin Luther is waking up from a very sound sleep, inside of what appears to be a human-sized chicken coop, with what appears to be chicken feed around and on him.
And he sees a
I'm gonna
dismembered
have
arm
to
flying
ask.
through the air.
I'm going to have to ask, what the hell? Why any of this?
I should note that as you're waking up and saying that, you're seeing Jim Jones huck an arm away from Billy and start pouring liquor down his throat.
Just let me correct how I said this. Why am I? Oh, that's I'm going back to sleep.
Oh, look, the chicken's awake. I'm gonna open his cage.
Friends, the chicken, it clucks. We must feed it. And throws more seed at him.
Wait, you might be over. You might need a chaser.
Why?
No, chicken, you will eat your seed, grow big and strong. Maybe we let you out of cage.
Why am I in a cage? The last thing I remember is I tried to pick
Flying
up.
away like a coward. That's the last thing you remember.
No, to be fair,
Trying to get those in.
Martin, to be fair, you're in there for your safety.
That is true.
Do you all speak chicken cluck? All I hear is cluck cluck.
I hate you.
It is very clucky chicken.
It is very clucky.
I'm trying to work out exactly where friendly hazing crosses the line into a form of domestic abuse.
I think we hit that point. It's about time where we let him out. All right, don't fly off again, and we won't pluck you as severely. And by pluck you, I mean pluck your soul from your body and enslave it.
To be fair, I don't fly away right now. I still have the wings.
No, you were thankfully asleep when that pain hit you. Because they went back into you. You didn't shed shit. They went back into you.
Oh.
You were thankfully asleep for that, whereas the rest of us were conscious.
Oh.
I took a needle to the foot.
He did.
It did not feel good.
And as all of this is going on, the rest of the caravan has kind of continued on into town, dispersing temporarily.
I just have to ask, how has the rest of the caravan reacted? Billy, with a goddamn dismembered arm.
At this point, if they pay us any attention, they're probably afraid they'll die, so they're probably just ignoring the hell out of us out of fear.
They've started turning...
We killed a dragon.
They've started turning towards the cultists' wagons for safety and protection from you guys.
Apparently, we're just
they appreciate all that you've done to help defend the caravan, including killing that dragon. But they'd appreciate it even more if you kept it over there.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation we're in right now.
Thank you very, very much.
More free booze from them is what you're saying.
Thank you very, very much for everything you do, and of course you're welcome to the hospitality of our caravans. Have you ever heard of a concept called to-go? It's very popular in the big cities.
Then before we get into Daggerford itself, Jim Jones is going to wander, place the 2 bags of booze he just drank and poured down Billy's throat.
I'm imagining Bert from Tremors is pretty much how we're treated.
Yeah,
Probably.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Bert Gummer. We're treated like the crazy prepper dude.
And I'm
They'll like us when they need us.
I'm guessing Billy is recovering his arm.
Billy is going to recover his arm.
I'm just going to throw that motherfucker again.
No, we need this.
Keeping a dismembered arm, God, Christ's sake.
The caravan already doesn't like us enough. Just let him keep the arm instead of throwing it and constantly retrieving it. It's embarrassing.
It's making a scene.
And I'm throwing it into somebody's wagon.
Oh, fuck. Tell me this wagon is one of the cultists' wagons.
I hope so.
No, I hope it's one of the clergy. That way they find
look at the DM's face. Guys, look at the DM's face. Sorry.
Anyway, we're in Daggerford, and we've been there for, 15 minutes now?
He's
more or less.
He wants to find something to kill me with.
No, we have something to kill us with. It's the dragon.
Chances are he's already found it because the delay.
A good
Oh.
point.
The
So to
dragon's
move on
hatching,
with
whether
the
we want it to or
story.
not. The dragon's hatching, whether we want it to or not. We're carrying around our own death here.
Oh no, I'm gonna fucking eat it.
What?
I
No,
will,
don't you
I
dare!
will divorce Brune and eat that baby.
I
Oh,
told
God.
you I ain't never settling down again.
You don't even
Freeze
look
this
me in
dragon
the
like my own
eyes when we
cub.
make love anymore.
Why don't you see if you can make a dragonborn?
Oh,
So, you're in the town of Daggerford, where you can do shopping and things.
Well, of course, Jim Jones is going to
Do
immediately
his restock.
fly his wagon.
I took a look at my armor a while back. A while back, I bought the strongest armor I could literally carry, apparently, without being encumbered.
Yep.
Well, no, actually, wasn't that a hand-me-down from?
He's
you
got...
The-
We would have to
Yeah, that
do
was
some
a
serious
hand-me-down.
double-checking, but
yeah,
he's got
but
more or less the best he can use.
I've got the best I can get right now. I do remember I gave my bolts to, or half my bolts to somebody already,
Me.
and
And has
But-
anyone been keeping track of our communist group fund? Because I haven't been in for the last 2 fucking games.
It
We
ha-
haven't spent.
Yeah,
any
there
of it.
hasn't
We
been
haven't
any
spent
spending
anything.
of money since the last time we addressed the communist loot fund.
Oh, hang on. I gotta check how much gold I have because I did mean to pitch into that.
Oh, yes.
I'll
We'll
throw
handle-
300 towards the fund.
We can handle all of those kinds of details unless there's something somebody critically needs that would be potentially session relevant. We can
Yeah,
handle
let me
all of
take a
that
note
stuff.
then.
Yeah, I asked
Post?
in case anyone needs like 1,000 fucking gold for
Excuse me.
something.
no, I think we're all set. Aside from maybe me finding some arcana things, magic.
Well, you're a sorcerer. Doesn't your focus replace everything?
He could still,
Yeah, but I'm looking for scrolls and
he
maybe
could still
something with
cast
that.
off of scrolls to save spell
Okay.
slots and whatnot.
Yeah.
Does Jim Jones need to buy any materials?
The only material Jim Jones needs is a 25,000 silver pieces and a very specific barrel.
We'll get there. We'll probably have to get to the next big town to start.
Yeah,
looking
this
for
is
that.
not the place for that, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
small
That's a
town.
lot more of those mushrooms I just spent 2 sessions tripping on.
We are not going back for the mushrooms.
Oh, yes,
no, he
we
has
are.
half a sack full of them.
A small sack. Not enough to make a full barrel.
Yeah, we're not talking a barrel unless he's going for a... yeah, probably not even enough even if you were going for something as weak as a wine.
I've got to make
Shroom
more
wine,
spirits
that's
out
a
of
new
those
thing.
mushrooms.
And
I have a
so...
question. I have a quick question about Shillelagh.
Sure.
Can whoever casts Shillelagh cast it on a quarterstaff other than their own?
I'm pretty sure it's got to be your own staff.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, never mind.
It's
I was
intended
just
as a
curious.
personal weapon thing.
Okay, cool.
Text. Yeah, you got to be holding.
Oh,
So,
okay.
And once you let go, the spell ends.
Once you let go, it ends.
Yep,
Okay.
spell
Yeah,
ends
if
if
you
you
let go of
cast
the
it
weapon,
again or if you let it go.
Okay.
Okay, I was just curious. Anyway, please continue.
As we give the audience a chance to observe the banal side of D&D where everybody goes, is this rule going to work out in my favor? Can I shenanigans
to
this?
ask.
Oh, no, it's a good question to ask.
Oh yeah.
I'm still plotting to just milk a bunch of demons of their blood for my sword.
Come on, story.
So,
I know.
What's the story?
the day passes in Daggerford. You notice that as people get around and talk and everything, more and more of the townspeople kind of start to look at y'all askance and, crossing the street kind of a thing. Basically imagine that it's like 1990s in an upscale part of liberal city and you're black.
We're getting shunned.
And they're white. So,
We're getting shunned.
We're getting some extreme social distancing here.
Hold on, let me
Wash your hands, kids.
to see if my drunk ass even notices.
This would potentially be closer to, it's not called sense motive anymore, insight. But
Insight.
perception, I think, uses the same base skill. The only difference would be if you were trained in it. Yeah, no, you're... For anybody, by the way, for anybody other than the drunk
Trained
motherfucker...
in insight. Never mind.
For anybody other than the drunk motherfucker,
How did I know less?
Nope. I think everything's fine and dandy.
How did I know less than
So
the
Martin-
drunko?
because the
Very carefully.
drunkard is skilled in detecting the emotions of others. Whereas
Not
you
very.
just kill them and stick their heads on pikes.
To be fair, do I really kill them and stick their head on pikes?
I mean, it was
The
just the
last
one
time
time.
the guy,
I'll-
like,
It was.
I'll grant you, it was just the one time.
I have a
If
perfect
anything,
justification
I think
for why
that
his role
I-
is bad. I have a perfect justification for why his role is bad. You just spent 2 weeks asleep.
In a chicken coop.
Okay,
Having
that's
chicken
He
feet
didn't
thrown.
pray before.
damn it, you're right, I did.
Well, remember, Martin Luther got brave once, and then he got murdered and crucified by cold.
That does explain his subsequent
That-
behavior.
Yeah, and then that absolutely fucking terrified me of absolutely everything.
Your God is going to
Martin
smite.
Luther has like 2 weeks
Yeah.
worth of praying that he has to catch up on.
Yeah, he does.
I
Good story.
really do.
His pants
But
are
you gotta-
oddly clean. He hasn't shat himself lately.
Yeah, I have to imagine
Okay.
though, Umaru must have had a good 2 weeks of just thank God that fucking idiot isn't
Finally,
bothering
some
me
peace
anymore.
and fucking quiet.
I'm sure
So
the
we
DM
also
thinks the
didn't
same
see,
way.
Oh no. Oh no.
We
Now
didn't
he's
see
in a
whole lot
chicken
of
coop. This is
action.
going to go so poorly for me.
We also didn't see a whole lot of action while he was in
I
a
am
coma,
the
so.
suffering god. I am the suffering god. This is my job. This is my role. I have to accept it. Okay. Go ahead
It's
and
easy.
pray, Martin.
All you gotta do is take a more Thanos approach to this.
Fucking snap it, man.
Except that would imply that I'm as brave as Thanos.
You don't have to
No,
be
not
brave
you.
to be a psychotic murderer.
I would argue to the exact contrary.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
well-
depends on whether or not you want to get out alive at the end of the day. If you're
Hey,
just
yeah.
on a
your
suicide
argument
mission,
has ended you in a chicken coop.
What did we insightfully notice here? Except for Martin Luther, who's still groggy and
So-
half comatose and damn near
I
striking
was
out.
going to say the only person who needed to bother rolling that was the drunk guy. Because I was giving it to you.
Mhm.
You successfully incited exactly what I had just described. Except for Jim Jones and Martin Luther, who, you know, they're not sure why they don't even pick up on the fact that people keep crossing the street to avoid them. Or that shopkeepers keep eyeballing them and asking politely if they can be helpful with anything today. Until
Nope.
you've made your purchase and left.
Nope, Jim Jones is still trying to
Sir.
offer people drinks.
Service with a smile. I'm down with, well, service with a forced smile. I'm down with that.
Is there an animal supply store like farming?
Like
Yes,
PetSmart here.
Easily. There is a general store, which, because back then animals weren't a novelty and were instead a necessity, I don't
Right.
know why, with the proclivity of magic, but we don't discuss the nonsensity that is a Dungeons and Dragons universe. So yes, there is a general store which could easily meet such needs. If it's in the player's handbook or the generic expanded list in the DMG, if they have that in 5th edition, then it's available there at the price listed.
Okay, for just general quick bookkeeping about how much to restock my wagon. I have no idea what I passed out.
Let us call it, just for simplicity's sake, including things like the cinnamon and the pepper and whatnot,
Mhm.
Let's call it about 50 gold to get a full, complete restock so that you can just keep passing shit out.
Okay.
And that
That puts
includes
me
your
at-
mundane barrels of liquor.
So that puts me at 266.
And so the
Yeah.
day passes with all this, ill at ease populace worrying and wondering when you're going to do something stupid.
It's going to be really hard to keep tabs on the Call to the Dragon when we are standing right the fuck out.
I mean,
Well,
come on, as
lucky
far
enough-
as these people are cared, we are part of the fucking cult.
They'd more readily believe you're the cultists than that the cultists are the cultists.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the-
I don't. Yeah, I don't think the cultists have a dude in a fucking chicken coop.
Or a dude walking around just slapping people with a dismembered arm.
He
Yeah,
also has a demon finger on a stick. Because he had to
Well,
shush.
come on, a
that.
dwarf needs to shush a tall person. I
Yeah,
can
that's why I
understand
put a
that
demon
one.
finger on a stick.
Our poor DM, he put his beer down.
I may need to just go get a bottle of rum at this point.
All right.
So the day passes. The wagons do regroup the morning of the next day at the far side of Daggerford.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And, you've picked up another wagon or two. It looks like somebody's actually managed to secure passage with the cultists because he's riding on one of their wagons. Let's see what we can say about these new people. Blah, 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 blah. Don't talk about these types of people in general. Talk about this particular character game. Come on. Get your exposition fairy right. So yeah, he looks almost like a stereotype of a lumberjack or a Russian from an 80s film. He's got the bushy wool hat with the flaps that come down around the neck and the ears, long sleeve, puffy clothing that covers up just about everything.
Okay.
And he doesn't really seem, as the morning is passing, he doesn't seem to mingle or mix with anybody, sticking strictly with the cult type. And the other person who kind of sticks out amongst the crowd is a little gnome lady. And what does it have to say about her that's worth mentioning here? There's a little gnome lady who joins the caravan and, a little bit chatty, kind of friendly, willing to talk meaningless nothings with people, but not really engaging in depth. And there's some other people here or there, just wanting company on the road so that not everybody dies immediately. That's the sort of thing you care about.
We do.
Cool.
Well, not you guys.
I may have set a church on fire.
Once or
And
twice
an
or three
exposition
times.
fairy.
That was just a dream.
You know that exposition fairy is gonna fucking come out of the dreaming and revenge.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, forget
There's
the
a-
church. What you did to
there's a
that fairy
reckoning.
was just unforgivable.
Hey, Brune,
There's a reckoning.
Yes.
give me an insight check.
Uh-oh.
1 sec.
Just Brune.
Oh no, Billy's done some weird shit, but not the atrocities that the rest of the party has done. He's mutilated bodies, but he didn't set someone's temple on fire. He didn't burn down people's entire crop.
At this point, it's probably to the point where if we do die, the caravan will celebrate. The whole
Brew?
world will celebrate. Word of our exploits must be just scary as shit right now.
And you know what the worst thing is? All I'm known for being fucking comatose in a wagon.
Oh, a few people did see you when you were all demon out.
Yeah.
Brune?
Brune,
Yes.
you
Yeah, that's gonna come back
you
to
kind of
bite
pick
us.
up on how over the course of the day, as the first day out of Daggerford passes, there's this one guy amongst the cultist crew that just keeps eyeballing you, and it's not... It doesn't match the descriptions your friends gave you of your spy, so it's not like he's going, fuck you, why are you making me do this shit? It's one of the other guys.
Is he eyeballing me specifically?
You specifically. And as the day continues, and you kind of just keep tabs on this to make sure you're not just seeing things or whatever, you occasionally see him whispering to one or two of the others while also casting eyes at you.
We're going to have to keep watch.
Do you just wait and see how things develop?
Let's give it a bit, and we'll just, cycle through watches, because let's face it, we don't have employers anymore.
Well, yours at least got fucking killed.
Mine got
I'm gonna let Walker know.
Wait, you got paid from that lawyer though, didn't you?
If by get paid you mean he looted his boss's corpse, then yes. Yes, he got paid.
That counts.
Close fucking enough. At least we got paid for once.
After he failed to protect his employer, he then looted his...
We finally got paid.
Anyway, so
Brune informs Walker.
All right, we're gonna set watch tonight. What time of the day is it when he notices this?
Probably by the time he's confirmed it well enough to share his worries with you. It's probably over lunch, actually. A nice convenient time to have that conversation discreetly.
Okay, so we're gonna need to parse out a schedule here. I only need 4 hours for a long rest, so...
I'm sure I'm fully rest, so I'll take first watch.
Okay. I'm willing to pick up the next one. Actually, we shouldn't do singles. We've got 2 people, so let's parse it. Or 6 people, we got a full party, so let's parse it out. 2 people, each shift.
If you put me and Billy on watch together, we're getting drunk.
I'm tying my boots extra tight tonight.
No, you're going to be on watch with me, Jim. You're going to be on watch with me. That would be... Jim is going to be on watch with me.
Okay.
You probably want to put Thodrian and Martin Luther together just so that Martin doesn't get harassed and decide, fuck it, I'm going to kill the rest of you in your sleep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, and in case shit goes down, he needs the healer to pat him on the butt to get him back up.
Yeah.
Also fair.
I guess that means
I was about to say, implying that I would have the goal to stab these people. Because if it didn't kill them outright, they would kill... No, because if it didn't outright kill you, you motherfuckers would kill me in an instant.
But you're training as an assassin.
Oh no, Jim wouldn't kill you. That's a release.
Okay, that's fair, actually.
We may have mental health issues in our party. Just for the people watching at home.
Hey, and also, Billy wouldn't kill Martin. He would just slap him with Jim's hand.
All right, so
wait, hold on. His actual hand or the disembodied one?
The dead Jim, not the live Jim. The dead Jim.
Okay.
He's dead,
Jim Beam, not Jim Jones. The liquor, not the suicide cult leader.
Okay.
That's
true, though.
About my cult.
All right, so we've got that situated. 3 watches should get us through the night with minimal getting fucked with.
Oh, we getting fucked with.
We are going to get fucked with, but hopefully it'll be minimal. Because with 2 of us awake that can lay the hate down, that's going to get everyone else's attention.
Yeah,
and I am
until
done pulling my punches. I am done pulling my punches. Shit gonna get burnt.
Light it all on fire.
I will burn it all to the ground.
No,
Anyway.
don't start at a church at least, okay?
There's no churches around here to set on fire unless my aim is so bad that it goes 1,000 miles into water deep.
Arguably,
I can see that.
Arguably, the holy paraphernalia of the cult that is probably collected on one of their wagons, most likely.
Light it on fire.
Probably does constitute a temple.
Light it on fire.
Just put it. Also, it should be pointed out from a more negative perspective, given the devotions and particular focus of Jim Jones's deity, his cart probably qualifies as a holy place to his goddess.
Yep.
Jesus, unholy fuck. If that thing catches fire, everyone's dead.
Yes, there is enough alcohol on there.
Fire.
Yeah,
I'm
do
not
not
gonna
light
set-
my church on fire.
You're
Light
not
their
going
church
to-
on fire.
You're not going to
I'm
do
not
it
gonna light your church.
intentionally. When have you ever started a fire intentionally?
On a church,
when he
I've
put
never
those lights
started
on
a
fire.
fire intentionally on a church. I've
He's going
Exactly.
to
set people
tonight.
on fire intentionally, but I've never intentionally set a church on fire. I need to be clear on that. Your
But you're
damn
going
cart
to
is
tonight.
your cart's going to be fine.
Yeah,
Just
mine
sleep
is.
well.
Theirs isn't.
We'll burn
So-
that bridge when we get to it.
So during the night, on Brune's shift, a scrawny little motherfucker creeps his way up towards the camp, but with his hands outstretched to either side, clearly empty. Like he's trying to not be obvious to other people watching, but he's also just as clearly trying to signal, not a threat, not a threat. Please don't fucking turn me into a demon or something, or slap me with my lover's arms again.
Oh,
I don't-
that's the guy
slap
we've been waiting
menacingly
on.
at him, and I make sure
Yeah,
it's
I don't-
clear that I'm bringing my
Dude,
hands around.
but I relate to him on a spiritual level.
Somebody please wake one of us up. Somebody please wake one of us up. Don't kill our informant. Don't kill our informant.
Oh,
Don't
no.
kill our
Kill the informant.
No,
Is this
wait.
the one that was making
Yeah.
eyes at me all day?
No,
Wait, who's
this
on
is
first
not.
watch?
I don't
we-
remember. This is whichever watch Brune was on. This guy is
Brune?
this
That'd be
guy is
with me.
actively waiting for Brune to be the one who's awake.
Okay, so it's Brune and Billy.
Yep.
And that would be
So
the
I
last
would recognize him. I
Yeah,
would recognize him, and I would still have his friend's hand.
you're gonna wave at him with his friend's hand, aren't you?
Damn straight.
Okay.
What you want?
I'm sure you've already picked up on it, but my compatriots finally figured out where they recognized you from.
Son of a.
You're that guy who turned into a bear and fought Langdon Rosa to a standstill.
Shit.
They don't necessarily know why you're here, but they know who you are, and
We're
they're
not killing
going
that
to
bitch.
want to even things out.
Oh, good. They can make things right by giving me some parenting tips for this egg.
Oh, fuck.
You
I'm
have
fucking eating
you have
that
a
egg.
dragon egg.
Yeah, more than just a dragon's egg. I also have a
Billy,
cask
wake
of
us up.
dragon blood fermenting.
Wake us up, Billy.
Okay.
Oh, this is not going to end well.
No, it's
I
not.
grab him by the
Wake us
scruff,
up, Billy.
scruff the neck and take him into the tent. Alright. This scrawny one wants to make mouth noises at you.
Uh-huh.
So apparently, the rest of you are being woken up by Brune throwing a guy at you. Okay.
Ow!
That
That
works.
is a
Well, I'm
thing
ready
that
for
is
round two.
All right, hold up. This is our informant. Now,
And he's
what-
just
what-
kind of cowering in the corner once he rolls to a stop.
All right. Let's
All right,
just
so
let's hear him out. What's he got to say? What's he told you guys so far?
Jim will stop trying to throttle the thing that was thrown at him when Walker talks, and he doesn't take his hands off him, but he's just like not strangling harder.
Let him go, Jim. Let him go. We
Does he
can't
have
get-
booze?
Know what I
he
do, friend.
doesn't.
Booze?
Go.
It's on the belt. It's on the belt. I came prepared. It's on the belt.
Grabs the booze, goes, "You're a good man." Pats the cheek, downs it, pats the other cheek. You talk now.
All right, so what have you got for us?
They've recognized your friend, the big guy who threw me.
Well, yes, he is good bear. Kill many things.
Yes, they recognize him from Greenest.
Yes, he killed Sloppy Dragon thing. He tastes good.
He didn't. He didn't kill Sloppy Dragon thing. He fought him to a standstill.
Technically, he knocked him out. Actually, he won. He clearly fucking won that fight. Let's put that on the record right now.
That's right.
That was a pretty good fight. And I unscrew my flask that's got the cozy made from his skin. Take a swig.
And Jim Jones, the drunk that he is, looks the informant right in the eyes and goes, "That's right. We kill him later."
So, what are we looking at here?
They're gonna come at you. Since I failed last time in killing him, pointing at Billy, they haven't really been looping me in on all their plans, but they're gonna come at you guys.
I have wonderful.
Somehow, some way, they're going to try and take you all out.
I have wonderful idea, friends.
We burn them?
Grabs the informant on the shoulder. Why don't you take us where they are sleeping?
Okay.
Preemptive strike.
We will handle this now.
No, we can't handle this now because we're getting the stink eye from literally the entire caravan. If we go at them now, without them obviously being the aggressors, we are suddenly the bad guys, and we've got a whole caravan of innocent people that suddenly want to kill us.
Well, do not worry, friend.
They're gonna come at us.
I will walk in.
Wait, guys.
Oh.
I'm proficient with poisonous kits.
Oh,
why don't we
just make them come to us?
Poison something and have this man bring it to them.
Jim Jones cracks a big old smile. The chicken stops clucking and starts speaking.
I do feel obliged to remind you all that this guy doesn't know what the ultimate destination for the cultists is.
Oh, shit.
And that's what you're hired to find out.
Wait.
Killing them all goes directly against your job.
Okay. I also am proficient with the disguise kit.
I have a potentially bad idea, but I gotta look something up.
And disguise myself as them.
Dragon, random question. What kind of roll would I make for a morality check?
What would you need to do for a morality check?
Yeah, to see if Jim would be okay with an idea that's popping in my head.
I have a potentially stupid idea.
I would let you go with either an insight or a religion check. Insight into whether or not what you're doing is really proper, religion to understand whether or not it's within the tenets of your beliefs.
All right, so I'm going to drop my disadvantage. This check, I'm going to roll a religion. Because we can't outright kill them, but we can kill their animal and poison them for sickness, but that's kind of bad. Oh, I'm not gonna do it, am I?
Killing their animals outright would actually be a pragmatic problem because then they'd fall behind, and you wouldn't be able to follow them to where they're going. Without
we
giving
just
away
kill
the
their
game.
livestock rather than their horses or beasts of burden.
They don't have any livestock.
No chicken?
The thing is, we're trying...
They're just eating rations like most people.
Yeah.
Does our informant know where they're going?
No, that was the whole point.
Okay, sorry, I was caught up in
Fair enough.
House-related stuff. So the informant doesn't know.
He knows they're going somewhere
with them.
They're going somewhere north of Waterdeep And only the most inner circle members know any of the details about how to make contact or where to make contact with the next leg of the journey after this.
Okay, so knowing that...
and they might even have to be reached out to by the next leg.
Right. So knowing that we really don't have any option except to let them come to us, but we know they're coming.
Guys,
so
I know I already said I'm proficient with Poisonous Kit, but I'm also proficient with Disguise Kit.
I have a dredge finger that smells to high
well,
hell.
let's hear out Martin Luther. Let's hear out Martin Luther.
Let's hear him out.
I can so long as there's a 24-hour period, I can make a perfect disguise of anyone. So, we have our informant here.
Identify who the important person is?
Oh, have him identify just someone of medium importance in that group. Lure them out. Kill them. I take their identity, and I leave clues for y'all on the way to wherever. That way, y'all know exactly where to go. Hopefully, I stay out of any immediate danger. And we find out where they're going.
And the rest of the party just yeets out of the caravan in order to avoid the attempted assassination.
The only problem is my wagon is very much part of the caravan.
It'd be even more suspicious if we just backed out now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we have just got information from this guy. If anyone happened to have seen him along the way and we dipped out the same night, they're going to kill him. We're going to lose one informant.
Okay.
And
That's why he doesn't dip out that same night.
Well, no,
Well, y'all don't dip out the same night.
If the rest of us suddenly dip, and my wagon goes with it, they're going to know.
Yeah.
So I think the best solution is we just have one.
I can spin a web around where we're sleeping. They'll walk right into it in the dark.
Except I never implied that y'all completely leave.
Well, I guess what doesn't make sense, what doesn't seem to be addressed with this idea, which is actually a pretty damn good idea, is how it deals with the assassination threat.
Yeah.
No, you see, that's why I put in the hopefully I stay out of any immediate danger part.
No, not the assassination threat to you. The assassination threat to all of your party members that you've just learned about. That's what this what this guy is coming over with is, in the next couple of days, they're probably going to try and kill you all.
All right.
That's why I said I try to take the identity of someone on...
So that you can warn them about what the assassination will be.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I follow it a bit better.
Yeah, that can work.
I realize I worded it a bit poorly, but yes, that was...
Is there any way we could put some sort of sedative into their drink? That way they're a little bit weaker when they come at us?
That gets back to...
I do have Poisonous Kit.
Yeah.
That does get back to Alucard's idea, or I should say Jim Jones's idea of, could he morally tolerate poisoning to weaken them in some way, shape, or form? Like make them feel sick or drowsy, etc.
I could cause a lot of chaos by giving them the rest of the demonic or liquor. It'd be a hell of a sacrifice, but
oh god.
You have a guy who's proficient in using poison. If you're gonna go the poison route, use him. I would say that since it's being done as a self-defensive measure, I do not see it, as long as you're using poisons that don't cause permanent damage. I don't see a problem with it from a strict alignment perspective, or even from the dictates of Shar S. Thodrian's god might have a different opinion, though I leave that up to Thodrian because he has a pretty good lock on what his character would or would not tolerate.
Yeah, and I straight up don't know if Hilmar would even tolerate what I'm doing. But then again, I've been shown that I have bastardized.
Also you're an assassin, not a holy person.
Yeah, I've also shown that I have bastardized the entire worship of Hilmar.
Yes. So Thodrian, any thoughts on the plans that have been put forward?
That, well, to make sure that I understand them, we're attempting to use the demon ichor liquor to cause.
We're actually going a little bit Your comrades are talking about something a little bit simpler and more straightforward than that. The demon ichor liquor was floated briefly, but to summarize, your informant would identify one of like the mid-level dudes within the cult. That person would then be lured away, murdered, and Martin would use his abilities as a disguise expert to impersonate him for the rest of the journey in order to provide you guys with clues in order to subvert any attempt by the cultists to launch an assassination attempt on you guys. And in addition, be slowly and subtly poisoning them so that they're less effective, they're drowsy or feeling ill, so that they're less likely to even try an assassination. So you're outright murdering one person at a minimum and poisoning all of the rest of the cultists.
We're pretty much giving morphine to the rest of the cultists. Or at least that's the hopeful plan.
Morphine would be... Drugging them with morphine would be a good real-world example.
That seems to be the best approach right now.
That is the most pragmatic, but would it hold up for... And also, I'm not entirely sure that any good aligned character could support outright murder, but you have excuses.
Well,
you see Jim Jones' notification?
Go ahead, Thodrian, while I try and look this up.
Alright. Because we already know that these guys are evil and are promoting things that would lead to the downfall of a lot of other folk.
Yes.
So in terms of killing one of them, is it the most...
Test.
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
Fixed it.
Yeah.
I'm back. All right, cool.
Is it one
Sorry,
of the most
guys.
palatable things? Probably not, but is it necessarily the worst thing? The biggest problem that I see from the pragmatic approach is Martin Luther going to be able to pretend to be this guy?
Because so the assassins have a proficient with disguise kit. So long as I have a 24-hour period to prepare, I can make a perfect disguise.
I'm not talking about looking like them. I'm talking about being able to know what they know as a mid-tier person. And
do you know the secret handshake?
Basically a con for like a week or more.
You should make sure you learn their secret.
Come on, let's be realistic about this. Just because you look like them.
Well, no, it's more than it's not. The disguise goes more than just looks. It is their entire history.
That is not what a disguise kit covers. A disguise kit covers physical appearance.
Okay. So if anything, I could easily go for a lower, for one of the
moot guys.
People.
Keep a guard up 24/7.
Yeah.
Well,
hang on.
Let me get my idea.
Was poisoned, as the one who was poisoned nearly killed. I have to say, it would be better because so far we've only kept one person up at a time. We have literally not had the manpower to keep enough people up to keep all of this safe. It only takes one person to pass out. And with half the party being, borderline raging alcoholics, it's going to be harder to keep two people up at all times unless we have one quote-unquote sober person there at all times.
Who are you calling borderline friend?
All right, let's hear out the rest of Thodrian's idea.
All right. So to elaborate or to build out the idea of, say, Martin being able to infiltrate group, we would want to be able to set something up where Martin could actually learn this guy a bit, follow him around a couple days, so that he can kind of pick up on the guy's vibe if we wanted to do like a long-term implant. And I guess the other question is, since we don't know where the cultists are going, or we're trying to follow them and figure out where they're going, we don't know how long this will need to work.
This, Thodrian brings up a good point. This might be a good plan to kind of put the disguise part in the back pocket to give Martin time to build up more of the how does this person behave, what do they know, and then when you feel like you're getting closer to the actual end destination, that's when Martin does the doppelganger implant.
Yeah, and that will actually give us an in to wherever
the final destination is.
Yeah, and we can break away at Waterdeep, and you can move forward like you were originally planning, leaving us clues behind. But for now, we just have to stay alert, because let's face it, if with the looks we're getting from the rest of the caravan, if we go out and just outright murder these people tonight, we're going to be the bad guys. So we need to stay as low-key as possible. Let them come to us. Now that we know they're coming, we can set up a watch, and let's face it, we've gone into worse with less.
That being said, there is still a lot of credit to the idea of using the poisoning to provide your spy with a little something to take the edge off of his pals.
That's what I'm thinking.
And if he's effectively our long-term informant, then we can at least have somebody, if we work out a system on how to communicate, if they're looking to strike or...
Yeah.
If
he hears...
He can leave messages behind.
Dead drops and the like.
And... Yeah, and to anyone reading it, it would just look either benign or just like a bunch of gibberish, but I would be able to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
That can work.
All right. With that, we're going to take a short break. If you're going forward with the plan to poison people, go ahead and while we're on the break, roll whatever you need to roll for the generation of your poison, and we will be right back. We are back, and yes, if you look down in the corner, we are kind of missing, well, one person now. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulties thing, as well as some players are staggering their breaks a little bit differently from other players. But we're going to move forward for the moment with what we've got, because after all, if I wait too long, like, the one human being who actually watches this will get bored and walk away. We should just stop streaming these and have fun on our own time. Fuck you, people watching. All
shit.
Half of you. And so, equipped with a poison that will put his friends into a torpor. If that was you, Alucard, I think that was you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that you're no longer logged into Roll20.
I'm not. Oh, let me fix that.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
You're not the only one. I had to fix that myself.
Yeah, no,
so.
we had technical difficulties while you were away, which is part of why we didn't keep running without you.
I accidentally clicked on an NSFW tag. It was a whole thing.
I believe it.
So,
all right, here we go.
You have equipped your spy with a torpor-like poison, which will basically render them kind of incapacitated if they fall for it. And, enough doses that if he staggers it out, he can keep at least a few of them poisoned every day to keep them a little leery and a little weary.
Let's get to the fight. Let's go. Let's get to the fight.
And it's on the next day, while you're traveling, that everybody should give me an insight check, or if you are trained in deception, you may substitute a deception check instead.
Well, let me switch back over to disadvantage.
Right.
I've got a higher score for deception. Can I roll deception instead?
Are you trained in deception? That's the question.
That would be check marked, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, then no. Insight.
Then you have to run insight.
Oh, wow. If I was sober, I might have made that check.
I accidentally rolled that twice, but, the first one.
Can we go with his second roll?
Nah, you gotta stick with his,
So, none of us.
Well, let me run through the list.
No.
Jim Jones. You notice that gnome that joined recently, back in Daggerford? She keeps eyeballing that dude in the funny furry hat who's traveling with the cultists. They're never like together. They're not, hooking up and talking and shit. She's definitely not riding that D. That's the sort of thing your mind would immediately check for.
Yep.
But she does seem to be trying to get in close enough to overhear his conversations with people, especially when he's talking to any of the members of the cult that you've identified.
Okay.
In addition to that, Walker, you pick up on the fact that she's kind of taken an interest in you guys, in some of the random banter and conversations that we don't take the time to play out because we'd never make it a fucking day if we ran through some of the things this game assumes you're all doing. Things like commenting on the weather.
Oh, shit.
You kind of pick up on that she's really listening to every single thing that you say. And is kind of pulling it all, taking it all in, catching everything about the people she's interacting with and her surroundings. And Martin Luther, sir, you're very well aware that not only is this woman actively interested in you, the dude who's traveling with the cultists, well, you meaning the group, the whole group.
Oh, okay.
The dude who's traveling with the cultists, your Harper friend that you guys have kind of tacitly been dragging along with you, and we all forget about routinely,
Yes.
And the cultists themselves. And you have the distinct impression that she is not only aware that you've caught on to her looking and showing this interest, but that she's... You kind of... She knows what's going on. She's definitely putting things together and has placed you guys, placed the cultists, placed... You're not even sure what the fuck this dude in the fur hat is, but she's placed him. That's a thing that happened. And she's aware that you have come to that realization. Or at least she's intuited it. You're certain of this. That she's in your mind, man. She knows what you know.
No, fuck, she's a Demir.
Damn, she's a fucking witch.
And she just gives you this sloppy, lopsided grin and turns away, skipping between the wagon wheels.
Well, we'll just have to see how that plays out. Because I don't see a way to... assuming that I'm aware of anything assuming he's told us any of this at all, I'm not aware of any way to really get her off to the side without anything being blatantly obvious. I mean, she already knows we're onto her, or he's onto her, and by extension, our little merry band of sociopaths.
Yeah.
I mean, she does kind of wander through the wagons often enough. She's traveling with the caravan, but she's never associated herself with any part of the caravan.
Okay.
So
Well,
it would be
good sign.
It would be pretty easy for you to find an opportunity to sort of sidle up on her and go, okay, the fuck.
Who's got the highest, who's got the highest persuasion? I'm trained in that, and I'm at a 6 in persuasion on my little side chart here.
I've got a 4.
I'm better at persuasion than the assassin.
I got a 4.
To be fair, I don't talk to people.
He
like
makes them corpses.
There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason. My
This is
deception.
This is true.
I'm not proficient in deception.
So what do I have to do to get close to this person to ask a few questions?
I mean, throughout the course of the day, with everybody kind of jostling back and forth and the caravan sorting itself out along the road, it's pretty easy to get to a point where the two of you are reasonably isolated and somebody is sharpening their knife. I can hear it in the background. It might be a pencil, but I think it's a knife.
Sorry.
Alright, so,
how you want to approach
what the hell
this?
to ask this person? Fuck. Anyone get any ideas as to what they want me to ask this person?
Are you gonna stab us?
Something along the lines of, what's your allegiance kind of thing? We've been keeping an eye on us. What's going on?
Please don't
You're
stab
keeping
us.
an eye on everybody.
Okay,
What's
give
going on?
me...
She's going to be an issue to us.
So I understand what you're going for. Give me your persuasion check, and we'll see how well it translates into something English that someone would say.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just imagining you back when you were in the military, serving overseas, and all of a sudden, you know, like, some dude with an AK-47 kind of just walks up to you like, so, you one of them Americans?
Oh, God.
America, boy.
I'm sorry. The way you were describing what you were wanting to ask her, just, it had me in the mindset of, so I'm gonna do this as ineptly as I can.
I know, right?
America.
I've got a persuasion of 16. Does that get me anywhere?
That definitely gets you better than the mental image I have of this guy coming up to a soldier at an Air Force base going, so
American?
I'm a member of ISIS. You one of the Americans? Or are you a good guy?
Oh, God.
That's actually too accurate, given America's history.
That's fail.
Just walking through some randomized dude, America.
America.
So you're
You know
approaching.
why America never knocks? Because freedom rings.
So what?
I'm ending the stream on that because that joke deserves to die.
Alright, so what did I get out of this?
So you kind of
16
work your way up
persuasion.
to where, you know, there's a little bit of a bullshitty back and forth of typical kind of cover your ass, you know, make sure that it's okay and comfortable to talk about the real shit. During which you finally learn that her name is Jamma Gleamsilver, and that's something that apparently was just, you were supposed to learn that somehow, somewhere, some way along the ways, because they don't talk about this shit in this book. You gotta figure that shit out for yourself, son. You gotta write your own goddamn Hoard of the Dragon Queen module. You paid what?
To be
Fuck
fair,
you.
that sounds about right.
Fuck you. You paid $30 goddamn for this book. You still gotta figure out what the fuck you're doing and how the fuck you're running this shit. We ain't gonna give you an
That's
adventure.
correct.
You fucking figure out your own adventure. God damn. Son!
That's exactly how Curse of Strahd is, goddammit. Fuck Wizard of the Coast.
They have a few modules that are well put together, and then they have 90% of their product.
Accurate.
Harsh, but accurate. So,
you know, you get the pleasantries out of the way. You talk about the weather a little bit because apparently she's into that shit.
Kinky.
And then you kind of, you know, let drop a little bit subtly about how, you know, there's some factions active amongst the wagons.
right.
And it kind of seems like she's picked up on some of this, and
Action wagon factions. Fuck.
and so, you know, what's her take on this? Why is she so worried about how a caravan shakes itself out?
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, you subtly flash your Harper badge a little bit to her. And
Flashing.
she takes all that in. Put that away, fool. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, I struck a nerve.
Flashing for the win.
Believe it or not, that was a good outcome.
When in doubt, pull it out.
Oh, God.
So far, it's been... the days keep on rolling by a little bit, you know, and so far, the cultists have been a little too poisoned to bother trying and fuck with you guys. A good cultist is a poisoned cultist. And
I didn't know cultists were fascists.
Well,
No! No! That did not happen! You did not travel to the middle of the sea!
Yes, we did, damn it.
Oh, no!
Oh, mistakes were
Only
made!
improve this module.
Mistakes were bloody well made. Look, this
Alright.
module's not bad, it's just inept. And bad. Really bad.
Come on, let's have a
There
sword,
we go.
Sea of Swords fucking adventure.
No,
Yes.
God damn it! The last time I tried to run an adventure on the ocean in boats, my
Assuming
wife
everyone
died. She got killed by a illithid, and then she came back from the dead.
See? She was fine.
What's that?
Alright.
I thought that was like the last session we ever ran. Anyways, now that I'm distracting myself with conversation with the wife, discussing her past misadventures, involving banging anything that was covered in more than 25% scales. You're kind of putting together your breakfast. You know, it's been 2 days after, you know, you talked with Jamma. Y'all are kind of sitting around the fire, putting together your breakfast. Jim is just about to settle in with this beautiful plate of, you know, bacon and sausage, and somewhere along the way, Martin found some wild potatoes that you guys roasted up. And right as he's about to put fork to put fork to pancake. This little fucking gnome yanks the plate and starts scarfing it down.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. That
Looking
bitch did not just steal my food.
Looking around, you know, as she's scarfing down your food, she's kind of looking around, and Martin and Walker pick up on she's specifically identifying where the cultists are relative to you guys.
Oh.
Pay attention to where she looks.
Jim just calmly sets his fork down, reaches over to the plate and grabs a fistful of whatever the fuck he can off of it, and stares her down as he eats it.
Yeah, you don't steal.
As Billy, I'm
don't
tempted to just, without breaking eye contact with the lady, just putting my crossbow in front of Jim.
It's obvious she is hungry, but she has no manners.
Good to see you again.
As Jim Jones is letting this spiel out and continuing to try and shovel the food he stole back into his own mouth, she reaches out and puts just one finger on Jim's lips in kind of a shing motion.
What?
Pulls his hand away from his face and starts digging her fingers into the mush of potato that you're holding.
This bitch is crazy.
I take a drink from my flask.
You could have just
She glances.
At this point, Jim either wants to punch her or fuck her. I don't know which.
She glances over her shoulder back towards the largest congregation of cultists.
Okay.
As she pulls her fingers out with a tiny little bead between them. It's a sliver of bone, curled into a circle so that you can swallow it in a mouthful of potato without even noticing. But once it's eaten, it'll slowly uncurl in your gut and expose an excruciating little needle which will pierce your lining and slowly kill you over the course of the day.
Oh.
I suspect that they're in all of your breakfasts. She gets up, her plate, your plate still in her hand. Let's talk this evening, she says as she drops the bead on the ground and walks away.
No sneaky assassination.
Well, comrades, now I know.
The potatoes.
I do not wish to punch her.
This is why you live off nothing but. This is why you live off nothing but booze. This is why you do nothing but drink.
And Jim Jones grabs a random pouch of booze from his waist, Prost, and downs his breakfast.
Well, there goes my appetite. Anyone else?
Everyone just, you can hear Jim arguing with himself on whether he really wants to punch her or fuck her. He can't figure it out which now.
I'm going to go off into the woods real quick and forage breakfast for everyone.
All right.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
That's fair.
Except
Billy
that's where
really
the
wants to
potatoes
shoot
came
these
from.
motherfuckers now.
Oh, wait, it was a wild potato. How the fuck?
The needle was in the potatoes, which Martin brought us.
Well, Martin, you gathered the potatoes like the preceding day. There's been a little bit of time where they were unattended.
Okay.
All right.
It still seems
son
bizarre, but possible.
Okay, so considering this is an important thing, Jim's going to really concentrate and roll an insight to see if possibly his wagon has been contaminated.
Wouldn't that just be a perception since you'd be searching it rather than checking if it's lying?
Well, it's just the idea if it'll even occur to Jim.
I mean, while you guys do try and keep an eye on things, it's not like you can always have eyes everywhere all through the night on all of your stuff.
Am I dumping my barrels of booze now?
Not yet.
You're fairly certain that they're trying shit like fucking curl bone sliver shit. That's not gonna work in booze. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
It would end up clogging the spigot.
All right. Well, in that case, Jim is going to spend the day trying to find things like chickens and goats. We eat fresh, son.
And Brune is easily able to find food for everybody.
Yep.
I like how they assumed y'all were eating oatmeal. I said, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
You guys have a fucking cleric of the goddess of hedonism. You're not eating fucking gruel.
Yeah, it ain't oats, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jim is going to try to find some live stock, chickens, goats, things like that. Maybe a cow if he can find one.
So you're checking out farmsteads while you're traveling, looking for food options. It's a little bit slim pickings, but go ahead and look through the player's handbook for prices, and you can reasonably get some extra rations in the form of livestock.
All right.
To keep you going on your trip. And you already have a chicken coop.
Yes, we do.
Come on, I think I've shown this, at least this session, that I'm not
No, you've come up with
complete...
Which is why you're not...
an utter chicken.
Which is why they have a chicken coop. If you were a complete and utter chicken, they'd probably have tried to shove you back in it.
That's failed.
During that struggle snuggle, I assumed that it would have ended up with the chicken coop being destroyed. So, hence they have a chicken coop.
All right. So, she's coming back later this evening, so... Okay, we'll just keep an eye on our food and maybe search it to make sure that we don't get some strange things.
Alright, give me an investigation check. Yes, they covered whether or not you dug through your food. But they didn't cover whether or not you talked to this chick previously. You know.
So why would we randomly search our fucking food? Oh, someone dropped dead.
Multiple people have dropped dead and they tried to poison me.
So, looking through...
Which is why I now have Jim's arm.
Looking through the food, you can find some things that they could be bone slivers, but they could just as easily be like... I mean, you are talking about wild potatoes in an era before you had nuclear radiation of potatoes that... By the way, did you know most people, the potatoes you buy in the store have been subjected to radiation with nuclear waste in order to increase their shelf life? The more you know. However...
I did not know that.
However, these are the real live potatoes that you find in the wilderness and or from an actual farm. So it's not entirely surprising that you find some things that could either be curled up bone slivers, creative assassination technique tool, or insect eggs.
We'll just chuck it.
One or the other.
Toss it.
What if we find someone's wedding ring?
Keep it.
You do not find any wedding rings, but you do notice that a couple of the cultists, not including your spy, you see nothing untowards when you check in on him, but a couple of the cultists do keep casting glances at you while you're eating breakfast.
Does Jim notice this?
Give me another insight check, Jim. Potatoes. Sorry, there was something in the chat. Yeah, Jim does.
Put them in my ass.
Jim does notice.
So Jim, being the snarky asshole he is when he sees one of them looking at him, is going to raise his plate in salute and take a big old bite.
Was my insight high enough to notice them?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stare right back as I take a bite of whatever berries and probably a rabbit that I've brought back.
So
Tony mine didn't click.
Not very intimidating, Brune.
I don't know why mine didn't click already, but
a 10 is easily enough to pick up on it. And now that you have so many people who are picking up on it, the rest of the group can kind of vibe off of them and sort of spot these two guys.
All right.
Who, after Brune's dramatic persona in performance,
Trying to intimidate looks more like a seduction.
they just kind of look at each other, kind of confused, and then shrug and turn around and walk away.
All right.
Jim's gonna watch them. Just staring daggers.
All right. So we survived breakfast.
You survived breakfast, and you're left, after the way they reacted to Brune, you're left with this kind of confused vibe of, were they really watching to see if we suffered a gruesome, horrible, slow, agonizing death? Or were they just that confused by the seduction of an elderly druid?
yes.
We'll leave that open to interpretation.
Why not both?
Jim's
My answer is yes.
So that
I'm
evening,
that the rest of the day goes. I'm assuming the rest of the day goes.
The rest of the evening goes without significance, and that evening, Gemma rejoins you all, and again sort of checks out to make sure that nobody cultish is too close by, so everything is safe to talk.
All right. You wanted to talk, and thank you for not letting a resident brewmaster swallow something that could kill him.
Yes, well, we may not work for, looking directly at Walker for a moment, the same people, but we're all on the same side here. We share a belief that the Cult of the Dragon must be stopped. I need to know what they're carrying on those wagons and where they're taking it. Will you help me find out?
That's actually what we're trying to find out. What do you know so far?
All I know is that they have things that belong to my friends. For that, they're going to die.
Later. When they come after us. Oh, yeah, they're also coming after us in the next little while.
Really? And all they're carrying is some equipment from your mercenary crew and a desire to murder you all?
Well, we've run into them in the past, and yeah, we've kind of been a thorn in their side for a little while. So it's a point of pride with them probably at this point that we need to just die, apparently. But
so where were they coming from before Daggerford?
Green Nest.
Green Nest. What in the world is in Green Nest that would attract their attention?
Booze. I found much good booze.
That's one of the things we're trying to find out. That we've been tracking them for quite some time.
And you don't know what's in the wagons other than some of your mercenaries.
They also have religious artifacts from what we saw.
Religious artifacts, and from what we understand, they're stopping in Waterdeep, and then they're continuing on somewhere north there, but we don't know where exactly yet.
Okay, so maybe we don't need to break into their wagons just yet.
No.
But why not light them on fire anyway?
We're just tailing them, but obviously they already know that we're around, so that's an issue.
We don't want to set them on fire just yet. After all, as you said, they'll be leading us on towards other concerns.
Yes.
Well, maybe we could set a few of them on fire?
If they come at us, Not before.
If they go back into a cave, I say we cause a cave and trap those bastards in there. Let them suffocate.
Okay, I have to break character just for a fucking moment to cover another fucking Wizards of the Coast failure.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
This was going so well.
That other
30 seconds.
That other bit where I read, we don't work for the same people, that's in the fucking special colored box that says, read this verbatim to the players.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
Earlier, there was a statement where it talked about if anybody happens to show a Harper badge to her, she acknowledges it, recognizes it, and tells them to put it away, almost like she's trying to pretend to be a Harper. And then they have her go and deny being a Harper. And then, she never comes out and says she works for the Harpers either.
But she's a Harper.
I am neither confirming nor denying that. What I am saying is that they are sending mixed messages to you, the GM, as to whether or not you're supposed to play up this mystery as to whether or not she's a Harper.
Severely mixed messages.
Like, she practically denies being a Harper in the block text.
We've killed more with less, so if she decides that she's not on the level, then sorry, you gotta go.
Yeah, we have.
Accurate, yeah.
Of course.
And at this point, she's probably wondering why we are not worried about the assassination plot against us.
There's 6 of you.
For us.
And that's just a normal Tuesday.
Also, she's definitely heard the rumors.
Good.
So she doesn't want a shot.
She doesn't want a shot at the title.
In fact, give me a shot. I am missing this good liquor.
I will give Jim Jones a shot. It has been a while.
You people are mad.
While that's going on...
Hey, we had to keep up images.
Oh god, he had to down his beer over that.
We have to keep
say
up.
hello to another addiction point. While that's going down, what has she figured out so far? We're doing a free exchange of information here.
That we're a bunch of fucking lunatics.
Just so that we can keep things rolling, Jim, roll me that Constitution save.
Oh, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the biggest thing
It's a
I'm trying to
great
work
bad
out...
idea, though.
The biggest thing I'm trying to work out is why a Red Wizard of Thay has joined up with these cultists and is being so chummy about it. And history checks for anybody who wants to understand Red Wizards of Thay.
Well, history I can find real quick. There's the history check, and there's my con save.
Ooh.
Wow. Good Constitution
I
save.
don't fucking
Bad
know.
history save.
So, even on a 7, you know that Thay is a nation far to the east. Something wizard, something undead. Don't fuck with them. That's about what you get if you rolled less than a 10.
No.
There's this country far and away. It's kind of like how if you ask the average Trump voter about Arabs. That's kind of the level of information you have. And
But they genuinely thought Agrabah was a real country.
And
I wish I was joking.
I know, yeah, that's the sad thing. On a 10 or better, you know that the Red Wizards are a quasi-political entity within Thay that used to run the place until apparently they retconned in 5th edition and decided that on a 17, Jim Jones knows this much, they retconned the outward fucking running of the country by Saztam the Lich to being, oh no, they never had any idea that their leader was a Lich, and when Saztam randomly, apparently it's been retconned into Saztam suddenly took over Thay. Blink, blink, blink. Never mind he was the supreme leader. Blink, blink, blink. Never mind he might have well been Kim Jong-un in
Why
3rd
did they
edition.
rape Thay?
Blink, blink, blink.
Can we keep the Red Wizards of Thay how they're supposed to be?
So basically, bad news. Don't fuck with them.
Bad news, don't fuck with them, except that the Red Wizards are now quasi, like... They've somehow lost their standing for reasons that make no sense to me, but reasons?
It used to be if a Red Wizard of Thay was interested in you, you ran. It didn't matter how high level you were or what you were, you ran because they're gonna fucking skin your ass. Now they're little bitch boys.
So I get to murder them?
We might be able to. Alright, so that's good to know. Anything else that might be useful?
Really, that I've been trying to get a read on them, and unfortunately, they play their cards a little bit closer to their chest than you guys do.
Yeah, we're bad about that.
I feel like that was a backhanded insult.
Was this a personal attack? Yeah, probably. Okay, that's fair.
Jim Jones just takes a swig of booze.
Yeah, we're not the most subtle people in the world. So where do you land on this whole thing?
Well, obviously, we need to know more before we can truly act on the matter.
Keep doing what you're doing. Just stay away from us unless you have to communicate with us, because we're obviously drawing a lot of attention.
Yes, and keep doing what you're doing, because as long as you keep drawing a lot of attention, no one will notice me.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. We're good at drawing attention.
Yeah, that we are.
Who wants a shot? Who wants a shot?
My loot, and I try to play a song.
Wait, is Billy offering shots?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the reason your Constitution save went so well was because on hearing about a Red Wizard of Thay being amongst us, you kind of spat most of it out. that was my reading of that situation, because from a meta game perspective, we can go, wow, they rewrote them as kind of pussy bitches.
Yep.
They're still canonically seriously badass motherfuckers. I think it's supposed to be like Zaztam unleashed a horde of undead or some bullshit and basically swept the country of anyone who showed the slightest signs of disloyalty. So they tried to justify it, but it still comes off as dumb.
Yep. They don't pussified them.
So I'm getting the distinct feeling that we're going to be getting into a fight tonight.
Walker.
It's fight night.
Walker, to recap. Jim Jones spat out Demon Ichor Liquor.
Yeah, he did, but the cult still wants us dead, so I'm getting the feeling, it's been a while, it's been a couple of days, I'm feeling fight night here.
Yep. In fact, Jim Jones kind of wants to go pick a fight. He spit out liquor.
Let's not pick a fight. Wait for them to come to us.
Can they come to us by me giving them some of this liquor?
As Brune just breaks out into music.
There we go. All right, we're cool, we're relaxing, and I really want a cultist to come at me tonight.
Real quick, I'm not gonna lie, I may take Billy up on his awful.
Okay.
And remember, dredges reek to high fucking hell.
So this is what Jim's gonna do. Jim is gonna grab a bunch of the skins he has in his wagon, and he's gonna fill them up from the water barrel, but he's going to position it in such a way as it looks like he's filling from the ale barrel for anyone watching.
Okay.
And he's just going to start passing them around to the group and say, "Tonight, comrades, we drink." Very loudly, very verbosely.
There we go.
as he will down a good chunk of the skin.
All right.
Let's
See,
do
I
everything
know-
we can to lure them in.
Yeah, you see, I know he's trying to make a play, but at the same time, that just sounds like a regular thing you would do.
Exactly.
Which is
Right.
why it would work, right?
Yeah.
All
He
right.
even hands one to Walker, to Martin.
Okay.
No, I've already had some of that. I've already been thoroughly scared of any possible alcohol this fucking group has.
All
It
right.
gave me wings.
Hey, hang on, mate. I have a case of wine waiting. I just need it to finish. Would you please have a drink of it with me? I promise you, there is no demon in it.
I'll take the demon. I'll hold the demon.
Real quick, I don't
just to make
believe.
sure.
I do not.
And
believe
as they
him
discuss,
for an instant.
their approach to alcoholism, let us all take a brief break. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no.
As you might be able to tell from while we were away, the players have decided to shit can the whole subtle, stealthy, let's lull them into thinking we're drunk off our asses approach, and gone with fuck it, let's break out the demon liquor. That can't cause a problem.
Hey,
Someone passed me a shot and I downed it.
In Billy's mind, he wholeheartedly believes that they will think this is more normal because that is the most potent shit they have.
Not wrong, and that's what I don't like.
Sadly, a repeat. Then again, as much as you fuckers drank before, it's no surprise we're on repeats.
And yes, I am keeping track of the shots now.
So, Martin Luther, was that 3 insight to go, fuck it, I'm a drink?
He offered me some wine. He promised there's no demon blood in here.
I do have a bottle of normal wine as well.
This is why I switched to vodka, people.
He may have promised me there's no demon blood in there, but...
So was there demon blood in the wine you gave Martin Luther?
Actually, no. This is just store-bought wine.
Okay. So congratulations.
Okay,
even though you critically failed your insight, you're just drinking wine.
So you lied about the dragon blood?
No, the dragon blood is still brewing.
Dragon blood is notoriously slow.
Okay.
Okay, and we are just waiting for... I know Thodrian's playing the DD, designated... DD? I don't think DD works. Designated Sanity. DS. He's the DS.
We did have something worked out.
I thought we did too, but I can't remember it, and also DS makes me think of British crime television and their detective sergeants.
It makes me think of Nintendo.
Same.
Well, I guess I'm just a more highbrow form of loser than you all.
I mean, I've also not watched TV in like a solid 4 years. So. Yeah.
So is Ziggy taking a shot?
I am not, simply because I had the rationality that half of us have to stay sober so we can watch.
Walker and Brune took shots. So the only person we're looking for is Jim Jones.
We're going to assume he took a shot.
It probably is safe to assume that he took a second shot.
So I have 18 shots left.
Do I still have to take a Constitution save against the regular bottled wine?
No, you do not. And Jim Jones fucking chugs that shit and doesn't have to care about it. Okay, then. So, based on the order I got the Constitution saves, congratulations, Walker. Don't bite your tongue the way Jim Jones did, because, well, sure enough, you have glands growing within your mouth, pressing against your sinuses, as your canines warp into a pair of long fangs that drip venom.
Jesus.
And, of course, Brune, you get the goat legs. Your legs crack and crush as they snap and reverse the knee joint, fur ripping out of your flesh far more painfully than any of your normal wild shapes. And something on your chest feels a little bit warm as that happens. Just saying. We covered what the glands can do before. You gain a proficiency bite check. Yada, yada, yada. We'll worry about that if a fight breaks out. As for the goat legs, which I think might be new...
Hey, all.
On the one hand, if an enemy lands a critical hit on you, you're going to break a leg having your movement rate until you regain hit points from any source. On the other hand, your land movement speed increases by 10 feet, and you gain advantage on acrobatics and athletics checks as you gain the nimbleness of a goat. But not their sourpuss asinine attitude. And unfortunately for Jim Jones, he succeeded on his Constitution save, so he doesn't get shenanigans. Do we have any idea when Jim Jones will be back?
So if I were Bedman, I think that sound I heard was probably him.
I did see activity on his microphone.
Who? I'm not a betting man, but I was right.
You were right. So, Jim, we did assume that when, despite your intention to create a facade of drunkenness,
you just went full drunk.
Billy went with, here, let me pass around demon liquor.
Jim drank.
I rolled your Constitution save for you. You rolled a 20.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You're supposed to be the one who makes this fun, and instead you're like, yes, I see your liquor, and I raise you sobriety. Harumph. Pinky out as you drink the demonic liquor. Pinky out, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll just sing a little song about unexpected changes in life.
Oh, and since you did only just get back Jim Jones, it should be pointed out that Walker is now speaking with a lisp around his 2 giant poisonous fangs that you are painfully familiar with. And Brune has goat legs.
Oh, those are very pretty legs, and I remember those teeth.
I just drink normal wine. Like a normal person.
You know what,
Jim,
Brune?
Are you telling me Jim is the only one who's sticking with the my wine skin is full of water is beer other than the demonic liquor?
No, because
Is that a plan?
Thodrian is sticking to the script because somebody has to be the sane one. And well, I don't know if Billy is drinking any of the wine or if he's just sticking to the water pouch.
Billy will have a glass of wine. We'll have a glass of wine.
But Brune, I do gotta say, you have goat legs now. You obviously get advantage on any attempt to play the lute. You might as well be a saint.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So yes,
Satan.
you put on
Hail.
quite a pleasant little.
I got the dead wife wearing her head as a hat.
As Toto's skull grows a little warmer. Told you something on your chest felt warm after that shot.
God, if Toto fucking pops out and tries to fucking kill me tonight, I swear to Christ. I'm expecting the fucking lion skin to bite my head already.
Dwarf blood. Dwarf blood. Anyways.
I can find more blood easily.
Bizarrely, almost anticlimactically, the evening passes without significance of any kind. I will
Down on my legs. Yeah.
I will, however, need a couple of... I know, this is the session of letdown, by the way. This is the fuck it, get it out of the way session before the fun can happen. But what I will need... What I will need from Walker and from Brune is a wisdom saving throw. As I check things, okay. Brune's fine. I need one from Walker now. Come on, Walker. Roll that check.
Somebody failed, damn it.
Oh, come on. People fail. What? Walker can't hear us talking. Walker, fix your shit.
Leave chat and come back.
And actually, I just saw his mic activate, but I didn't hear anything. Are you typing him a message, Ziggy? I'm going to roll his thing so that we can keep moving while you help him sort his shit. Alright, so he saves as well. Shenanigans fail. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to give you something interesting, but, well...
Can Jim Jones just down like half a bottle of the liquor?
But then he'd have pretty much no liquor left.
Yeah, I have 18 shots. I might have to use some of it to torment someone. You never know if it's going to be good for interrogation.
Damn it, we need more demon liquor.
We have dragon blood wine on the way.
Yeah, but it's not demon liquor. We got to find another portal into the fucking abyss that the DM doesn't think I'll jump in.
Well, here's the thing. For all we know, this
that was my
dragon
biggest
is
mistake.
going to give us breath attacks.
Yeah. Acid breath attack might get us high.
Yep. Walker is restarting Discord to try and rejoin our voice chat. And yeah, yeah. Next time I run one of these official adventures, I'm rewriting it first.
Yeah, I know exactly what happened to this session. I made it.
No, what happened to it is there's this sequence of events that's supposed to ramp up the mystery and the intrigue, and it's supposed to get you engaged with the major plot, man.
It's not working.
This is where I've learned to just let the players make their own intrigue.
I have been working with it, but like I was going, well, what if the cult did attack them in the night? And then I went, wait, that would be stupid and counter to their purposes. Damn it! I can't justify them just out and out trying to kill the players in their sleep.
You could have 2 or 3 drunken ones do it.
You guys have enough of a reputation.
Okay, I'm back.
We're hatching the egg.
What? Oh, I rolled for that too, just to see if that happened during the night.
No, I do not approve of this.
Jim Jones is trying to crack the egg open.
We're breaking the egg.
All right. Okay, cracking it open is not the same thing as hatching it.
I'm cracking it open by hugging it.
I am going to swing my quarterstaff, Jones.
No, I'm trying to like hug it into life.
Oh no! Please do not.
Give her here. I'll keep her.
Test.
We can hear you again.
I'll be damned. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, sometimes
hatch the dragon egg while you're.
What you're missing is that Jim Jones is hugging the dragon egg. Brune, fearing for the dragon egg's life, is swinging a quarterstaff at him.
Oh no!
And I'm desperately begging to not hatch it because fuck.
Okay. So
they hunger and wish for steak.
Brune, give me an attack roll.
Holy hell! Imagine the lemon meringue pie that thing can make.
Sorry, roommate walked in.
So Brune is swinging round with his quarterstaff. Jim Jones, protesting his innocence and how this is just an attempt to get the egg to hatch, is shifting out of the way, and the quarterstaff connects hard on the shell.
Oh no.
Oh, you did not hurt your baby!
A series of fine hairline fractures spread from the impact point.
Shit.
Oh, it's hatching. It's hatching.
Runner! My little baby.
I'm grabbing a frying pan just in case, like in my offhand, just in case. You never know if we're gonna fry this thing.
I'm just immediately ready. I'm immediately ready my sword. I'm ready to fucking slice the thing.
Or just try to cradle it.
So Brune's cradling the cracked egg.
I'm taking a step back because I have a sneaking suspicion where this is going.
Most people are clearing the zone and preparing ranged attacks and or frying pans.
And this is a black dragon, so it's acid, right?
That
we don't actually know.
I'm not going to help it out of the egg. It's got to
was...
be able to do it on its. So I'm going to sit down next to the fire, and I'm going to play some blues music for it.
assuming that it is from the same brood as the other 2 eggs with which it was found, then yes, it is a black dragon.
Okay.
Jim will join Brune with cups of wine from his barrel.
I'm gonna prep a scorching ray.
Thodrian?
Little one, you can do it. I believe in you.
I am gonna head over to the egg as well, and I am going to bless 3 of us.
Well, I thank you. This is a very marvelous. I thought I'd be so happy again after my wife left. I take.
Friend Brune, you will be father again. Drink. As Jim quietly loosens the hammer at his belt just in case he has to fucking dome this thing.
As the egg shifts and rocks. And then shudders and shifts again as if something from inside was hammering against it.
Oh shit.
I
desperately want to
Little buddy.
sing the sword.
Who's that
That's right.
Pokemon?
That's right.
As the cracks spread, it
Don't be red,
seems
don't
as
be red,
though
don't be red.
something might be a little off. Because a pale wan light starts to come through the cracks.
Huh.
And it gets brighter as something pounds against the side of the egg again, and then again, and again.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge nation to see if this is something I should know.
As they take on a green light. And, Ziggy, frying pan in one hand,
Mm-hmm.
your sword rattles slightly in its scabbard.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Even under normal circumstances, Brune, even dragon eggs don't generally emit light. That's not a
Demonic
thing
energy.
they often do.
Oh, son of a whore biscuit.
In
It's a
fact,
demon
Billy, give me a wisdom check as the egg rattles again.
Just a check, not a save? Well, it's the same either way.
Same either way for you.
Yeah.
I'm still encouraging
Okay.
it, being as loving and supportive as possible.
The egg is going to explode and kill.
You know what? Because Brune did make the nature check, Brune, give me a wisdom check.
Actually, I could use my inspiration. I'm
You
gonna
could
save my
use your inspiration. You want to save it?
I'm gonna save it because if this thing's gonna try to kill us, it'd be more useful then.
Brune, it kind of starts to occur to you as the egg starts to flake open that Ziggy kept leaving the fermenting Demonacre liquor right next to the egg just because of room on the cart.
Did I just fucking make mouth gore from MTG?
Yes.
You made a demon dragon?
We're fucking hatching
As-
nickel bullets.
As the egg...
We gotta kill it. I am swinging my sword at it. I am swinging my sword.
Can we retcon this to say that we're the actual cult of the dragon here?
Because that would be appropriate now.
I'm swinging my sword.
Well, no, because Martin
I'm
doesn't
swinging my
know.
sword. I'm swinging my
Martin
sword. I
doesn't
missed.
know.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
Martin...
catching. That's already enough for me to feel. But even then, I miss.
So,
Okay,
as Martin
hatches.
Luther, somewhat panicked, is running up, swinging his sword at the egg,
Hey.
a chunk of the shell falls away to one clawed black-red limb. As this iridescent, you know those annoying fucking rich bitches who buy the Dodge Chargers that are like they're black, but when the sun hits them just right, you can see red underneath.
Yeah.
That annoying fucking color.
Oh
It's
my God,
kind
you're
of
so
like that.
beautiful.
as this thing bursts out of the shell and reaches out its other claw and rips the sword out of Martin Luther's hand. Shoves its nose right into Martin's face and takes a very deep sniff.
That's right. That's...
I'm not gonna lie.
Say hello.
Oh, Brun, look at your beautiful baby.
Do any of you speak Draconic?
Wait.
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
We've already established we don't.
Yeah, nope.
We've already established we do not.
I mean, I have a
Draconic on every
I never
character.
spent, so we could retcon Draconic again.
I think we did
So
do
yeah,
that.
I'm just going to admit now that I'm gonna piss my pants in utter feel.
Understood.
Billy's going to calmly, or he's going to quietly put the frying pan down and grab his sword.
There's
a little disappointed at it.
There's a chirping noise from the dragon. I heard some talk about retconning and Thodrian saying he thought we did something to make sure somebody ended up with Draconic.
Jim does have an open language slot.
That's right, that was what we had retconned. Yeah, so Jim understands what the chirping from the dragon is as it takes a big whiff of Martin. Mommy?
What?
Jim will snap his fingers to try to get its attention.
What?
Baby, no. And pat Brun forward. And I don't know if Jim is able to replicate the goddamn language, even though he can
I can't
understand
speak
it.
with animals.
But he will try to tell the baby Brun is mommy.
This is not happening right now, is it?
This is happening.
This is happening.
There's a baby demon dragon. And
What Thodrian's going to do is the best impression of midwife and be very protective of the mother and the newborn.
And of course, Jim is just elated that this thing isn't breathing fire or smoke or acid.
I'm
And it
mentally
wants
juggling
mommy.
my spells. I'm literally mentally juggling my spells to figure out what's going to hit the best if something goes sideways, because obviously my Scorching Ray is not going to work, so I'm going to go ahead and put that away.
All right, Jim,
And
we're
in
gonna
fact,
need you.
Jim's going to reach out and tickle the dragon's neck. And mommy, pointing at Brun. This is mommy. Here, mommy.
So what are you
I would,
trying
like,
to communicate
I
with
take
Speak
my
with
wife's
Animals?
head off my head off, and I like use it to like cradle the baby demon dragon.
You realize that the baby demon dragon is
It's
hold
big.
on, let me
Oh,
double
how big
check
is
its.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so the size of the dragon is roughly one Martin Luther.
Oh,
That's cradleable.
It's a person-sized creature.
Yep.
We can
Okay.
work with that.
I am
not gonna try to use that.
I'm at a loss of words.
Still.
It's mother, and
Jim's gonna Jim's gonna look back at Martin and go, go, grab chicken from cut. Baby is hungry.
So what is Brun trying to communicate during this? I've got the vibe from most everybody else. Brun is blowing a spell to try and communicate with this, even though it's, to be technically blunt, it wouldn't work with a dragon, but it's a newborn. It just hatched. We're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like communicate it to that I'm here to take care of it.
Daddy?
You can trust me.
There we go. I'm hoping this is going well, even though I don't understand.
Are we gonna have to?
Strong.
Are we gonna have to get Martin and Brun married?
absolutely not.
I'm rolling an insight to see if I understand anything of what's going on right now.
Oh, you can kind of start to pick up on. It's hard to describe because dragons are supposed to kind of sort of have facial expressions despite being not faces, if you know what I mean. So you're kind of starting to pick up on this vibe that maybe even casting back to a younger era where, you know, you dealt with livestock a little bit more when you were a child and whatnot. You're pretty sure this thing is bonding with Brune and Martin as its parental figures.
That's good. I can work with that.
It's not gonna have to take a drink.
Martin, get chicken. Now.
Oh, I want this thing dead.
Do what he says.
Jim Jones is prepping a calm emotion spell. And a hold person.
You can only prep one.
Get chicken.
And I'm going, if he still doesn't listen, I'm going to use suggestion, I swear to God.
I cannot believe this is happening. No.
Martin,
suggestion.
You give that baby some love, otherwise I'm going to get the funnel.
I don't. I get the funnel.
Time out for a half second. What is the suggestion? And
I'm going to suggest to Martin Luther that he do what he's told and go get the chicken.
And Martin, you get a wisdom save against that.
Okay.
Roll your save.
Wisdom.
Roll your save.
Wisdom save. Yep.
That's a fail.
Oh my God, that actually is a failure. I'm sorry, Martin. I'm not usually a PvP fan, but
get the chicken and don't attack the baby.
Is the skull reacting to this at all?
I don't.
The skull almost is starting to feel a little cold against your chest, actually.
Huh.
Me?
Don't worry, little one. We're gonna get you something to eat. How about
there we go?
How about we play a little song?
This thing is a dragon.
Lead them on like a campfire sing along about chickens protecting the caravan.
There we go. All right.
Billy needs a shot. This is fucking. Billy's taking a fucking shot of demon liquor.
I'm going.
I think my wife is about to take a shot from all this.
Okay.
She's just staring at me so heartbroken.
All right, I'm giving you my Constitution save.
So I'm going to grab the chicken and throw it at the dragon and grab the funnel from Billy and just put it in my mouth.
Martin, don't throw the chicken.
He's gonna put the funnel in his mouth and lay down, waiting for wine or anything else to be poured down his throat. He's complacent. I told him to do what he's told, and he failed his wisdom check.
So the chicken goes flying into the air, and it starts flapping its wings, gaining a little bit of ground, especially once it realizes that there's this freaking black crimson dragon thing in front of it, and it's flapping its wings desperately, and your little baby just kind of hunches up, wiggle butt, calibrating, and launches into the air. And as it does so, it unleashes an unholy blend of fire and acid straight into the chicken. Before grabbing that corpse, slamming back down into the ground, and scarfing it down.
Good job. Good job.
And Jim will just translate Brune's praise for the little dragon. And look at Billy and quietly tell Billy to drown him.
I know. I have the funnel in my mouth. I'm laying down. I'm just doing that like frantic hand wave motion. Like just pour fucking everything.
Drown him.
2 or 3 shots of demon liquor in him.
Oh my God.
Fucking 6.
Oh no. We must save some if you fuck up again.
Oh. Look, I can see the rails. They're over there.
We've found this cool thing off to the right. We're running.
We were one thing away from Waterdeep. One thing away from Waterdeep.
How is my donkey with this dragon, by the way?
You
is
know
donkey
what?
freaking out?
I hate to say this, but we have to be honest. We know you, Jim Jones. This donkey's seen worse. That donkey's just like looking over its shoulder, flicks its tail like, yeah, no, I've been there, I've seen that.
This is a Wednesday for the donkey.
For me, it was Tuesday.
Alright, just my punishment because I know I failed.
I'm not even gonna make the Constitution save. I want to fail. I want to fail on all of them. Just get all of the alcohol he gives me. I want to fail.
You said 3 shots?
3 shots into Rise, 1 shot to me.
All right. You do get your... you made your Constitution save, and you failed it.
Yep.
So this one's for you.
Fuck.
You get the goat legs. Congrats.
Ow.
I need to revamp this list.
Because we're going to be abusing it for a minute.
I have 14 shots left.
You think I took the time to create an entire fucking entry about demonic or liquor, and you're never going to have a chance to get more? Come on!
No, I'm just saying, right now, that's all I have. We're gonna have to wait to get more.
Oh, God, that actually works way too well. Hey, Rise. Martin Luther?
Yeah.
As he's doing his keg stand of demonic or liquor, you end up having your hands warp into claws, horns ripping from your skull, wings bursting out of your back. Guess what? You look like mommy now! You look like mommy now!
Now remember,
I just rolled that, and it worked.
Remember, Martin, if you try to hurt this dragon now, we all die.
Also, if you try and hurt it, you're attacking your firstborn.
This is
I'm
your
swinging my sword at it again. I'm getting up and I'm swinging my sword at it.
Alright, as he's trying to get up, I'm shield bashing him again. Why? Because I'm pretty sure I can put my shield back into his chest before he can stand.
I think you want to do that.
Sit the fuck down.
What does the baby do when it sees someone attack mommy?
Can I just drop?
Uh-oh. Shit just went sideways.
Let me guess, dexterity save?
Jim?
Yes.
Say what you were going to say, and then I'll resolve.
I was kind of hoping I could just drop a hold person spell on them real quick, so they don't be violent to each other.
Give me a dex check.
Oh.
We'll
me?
see who's fat. No, Jim Jones.
Let's see
I
who's
don't
faster.
think you're going to win.
Probably not.
Let's see.
Please.
Flat 10.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna need a dex save from you.
Done. I failed.
Well, no, actually, you do succeed because he has a low.
Oh yeah, it's a baby.
So you take as the
14
baby
damage.
spins its head towards you, a total of 14 damage, assuming you have no defenses against either acid or fire.
Oh no.
As seeing you slap down mommy, the baby just swivels its head and unleashes on you with its breath weapon, which I checked, it recharged after it took out the chicken.
Oh god, that's quick.
Jim Jones will immediately start praising Baby Dragon as a good, brave little dragon. but
Alright.
needs to
Hold on, I'm just
not
Alright,
do that.
give it 10.
I'm gonna help
Okay,
him.
hold on. We're having too many people try and talk at a time.
I'm going.
Let's start with
Alucard
Martin
go
Luther.
first.
Let's start with Martin Luther real quick because it sounded like he had something to jump in with.
I'm gonna look at it and realize it just defended me, and I now have very conflicted feelings.
Okay.
Because on one hand, it's a literal demon dragon that should face all of the unholy retributions of life.
So we're gonna pause you there, Martin Luther, and move over to Jim Jones.
Jim Jones is immediately in draconic praising such a wonderful, brave little baby dragon, but it needs to not do that because we're all family.
And let's jump over to Billy.
Billy's gonna turn towards the dragon, have his shield ready, and just drop to a knee looking at the dragon.
And Brune, Walker, or Thodrian, did any of you have anything to chime in with?
If he took any damage enough to possibly take him down, I was going to use Spare the Dying.
I believe he should still be technically alive at the moment.
I'm not even half.
Alright, cool. So
I was gonna say, and I can walk over and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Alright. So Thodrian's going to go
helping
over...
Jim, lovingly, but firmly correct the baby's behavior.
There we go.
Good daddy. Good daddy.
We're gonna sing a little song about using our voices, not correct.
Remember, we're all family.
Even better. It's gonna be a musical, magical Grizzly Adams.
But hurt mommy. Don't.
Is there any way
and he shouldn't have done that either. We can make sure he doesn't by using our indoor voices.
Is there any way we can teach this thing common?
So we can
help. Oh, it'll learn it. It'll learn it.
Maybe Dwarven.
It'll learn it. Don't worry. It'll learn it.
It's not learning it today.
Oh no. Not even with a musical accompaniment?
Darn. Rolled a 1!
Right.
Like, I know they stat these things as... Actually, no. They stat it as only knowing Draconic as a Wormling.
Yep.
Alright.
I thought that even the Wormlings knew Common. But also, Wormling doesn't assume Hatchling.
This is true.
But it'll pick up other languages relatively quickly. I won't have to translate everything forever. Do not piss it off.
Don't.
Well, who could ever think of hurt angering such a lovely little thing?
And
You're
Jen
beautiful.
just looks at Brune and quietly points to Martin.
Yeah.
And? Well, the boy's slow. He'll learn not to bug, maybe.
Insight that.
The funny thing is they haven't even sexed the baby yet.
Whatever it drops its junk, we'll find out. I'm not grabbing it. It will either try to get nailed or nail something. That's when we know.
We'll just leave that for later. So we have a half-demon wormling that's kind of on our side. So
it's
let's
imprinted
roll
on
with that.
It's on my side.
Of all people.
It's on my side, bitches.
Martin, it will kill you, and I will tell it to.
Oh no, it absolutely will. I have no doubt in that. That's why I kind of want to kill it. But on the other hand, it protected me, and I have very conflicted feelings.
Don't come at it with a fucking sword.
This is like Billy and Jeff the Spider.
All right. Just
Yes,
as a
yes,
attempt
it
at
is.
peace, I want to just
I want
hold
you
up
dead.
my open hand to it to show that I'm not going to hurt anyone. Hoping it kind of understands.
We have to set up a family dynamic. Do not be meek.
I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to hold up a hand to show I'm not going to attack anyone.
baby. And it just turns away from Billy.
All right.
All right, well, let's make you a nest.
It's as this is going on, it kind of ends up hopping back into the wagon, sniffing around where its egg was, and starts eating the shell.
Cool. That works for now.
All right, you'll get bigger and stronger on that.
I'm just gonna lean over
Good
to
calcium.
whoever.
We're gonna scratch it behind.
Yeah, I'm
its chin.
just gonna lean to whoever is closest to me and saying,
Like,
"This is the best time to kill it right now while it's distracted."
And Jim
I
Jones,
know.
well, praising the dragon in Draconic, in common tells Martin to shut his dirty whore mouth before it
Yes.
understands you.
see, this is when it
Because
starts
it's
eating.
still
So-
under my spell.
Thodrian's gonna lean in to Martin and say, "You deal in death, and yet I give you leeway to forge your own path. It has the same choice. You will not interfere."
And since he's still under my spell, he's doing what he's told, so
And Jim will just make sure that our little baby dragon knows the donkey is not food.
It wouldn't taste very
Fucking-
good.
I think we can still make it to
Get you something
Waterdeep
better.
with
Sure,
the
we'll find a cow or
wormling.
two along the way.
They're not going to let us in the city. Some of us are going to have to stay outside.
I never.
Either
liked
that, or
fine.
you're gonna have to
Place
explain to a
much.
black dragon why it can't go home.
We'll work with that. This is its home. We are its home. We're
Once
rolling with
Bruce
it
that.
grows
got-
big enough, it can make whatever the hell it wants its home.
Well, the best
The wagon is home.
being a parent
It's-
is making sure they can survive without us when they need to.
It's
There we go.
sniffing. It's sniffing at your chicken coop.
By the way, we need to name this thing.
Jim's going to give it another chicken. He's going to pull a chicken out, and he's going to break the wing on it, and he's going to chuck it up in the air for the little dragon.
And sure as shit, it wiggle wiggle.
How many chickens we
wiggle,
got?
wiggle,
A few.
Not
Yeah,
enough
I
to
didn't
feed
do
the
that.
dragon, but hey,
leaping into the air and ripping that thing out.
Oh, you're so good.
looking to Brune, you will have to teach it to hunt.
Honestly, I think I'll learn a thing or two from it. It's gonna be great.
Well, no, I was
the
more,
alligator hears about this.
Why
I was
does
more
only
thinking-
Uncle talk to me?
teach it to hunt for us.
I didn't hear the DM over yet.
Why does only Uncle talk to me? Why do not Mommy and Daddy talk to me?
You know what? You're absolutely
they-
right. Mommy and
Wait,
Daddy,
did it-
get over here and talk to your child.
Please don't tell me you said that.
Family unit.
No, I think
Everybody's safety.
I think it's simply because it cannot understand, or they can't understand.
That is still in Draconic, by the way, for anybody.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Oh,
Jim Jones looks at the little dragon. Is okay, little one. You speak different language at birth. You will learn what they speak soon. We are family unit. Until you learn what they speak, I translate for you. What you say, I tell them. What they say, I tell you.
This is fucking mad.
And when Martin says that, Jim Jones tells the dragon, he said, "You're very lovely."
And
Give me a
bear in mind
deception
that-
check.
I'm just saying that in general. I'm not saying it to the dragon or anyone in general. I don't care if Jim lies. This is absurd. This is bad. This makes me think I'm genuinely.
Why the fuck did that just pop out the chat? What the fuck happened?
I'm
my reasoning.
genuinely not convinced this is happening. I am
My-
utterly
my-
convinced
Oh, that's
this
a
is just
shitty
caused by me
deception
being
check.
drunk.
Hold on. I have a solution for this. He's still doing what he's told. And by default, everything he's been told so far is to the benefit of the dragon, so he can think that, but he can't say that.
No, you have to give him the literal order. He can do anything as long as it doesn't disobey the order.
But he was ordered to be the mommy to the dragon.
And there are abusive mothers.
Sorry, have you never heard of a mother who utterly despises her child?
And there are abusive mothers. Thank you, Martin Luther, for
That's not the lesson. The baby here needs to learn.
Oh, we're so fucked. Goodbye, plot. I don't need this book anymore.
Can Jim take the baby off away from everyone while they fucking settle shit with Martin?
In fairness, I think that Martin is probably having the most sane reaction to this out of all of you. I have to be honest about that.
This is the action that keeps us all alive for the time being, because
you realize that you've been encouraging a dragon to do aerial acrobatics in front of an entire caravan of suspicious individuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe this will make the cultists think we're part of them.
They were already suspicious to begin with.
We should celebrate with everybody. Everybody, we just had a baby!
Also, we were told to be obnoxious and distracting.
Hey, babe.
This is obnoxious and distracting.
And you know what the best part is? I gotta go to bed, guys.
Yeah, no, this seems like a good time to call it for the night. Y'all have a baby dragon to name. You better have a name before the next session.
I say Sniffle.
Yeah, I second that. Nicol Bolas.
I'm done with Nicol Bolas.
This is
No. It is a fledgling. It
Or
only
just
gets
Bolas.
the name Nico. We have to find his brother Bolas.
All right,
Nico.
so this is Nico.
You killed his brother Bolas.
He doesn't know that.
We also killed his
That-
other brother, Hugin.
There were 3 dragons. There were 3 eggs. 1 died to the roper. 1 died to you motherfuckers. This is all that's left.
Which we contaminated with demon ichor liquor.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
His name
you
is
done did
Nico.
some shit to this thing.
You're
What
welcome.
the fuck? I love
guys
you all,
realize
and
that, Just so y'all know, in like 8 sessions, this thing's gonna kill one of us.
good night.
Good night.
Sessions.